big of a heart to see, especially too because I've shown in past videos, I do have 2 rats as pets. I love them very much. I know in the wild, that's Mother Nature, but I can supplement, something like that for crickets and mealworms. Another question about feeding is, do I feed mine roaches? No, I do not. First off, I don't think it's actually legal to have them here. Secondly, I'm not trying to be gross, but roaches freak me out. I think they're disgusting. To anybody who keeps them, even as pets, I know some people do. That's awesome for you guys. The look of them, the sound of them, they just creep me out really, really bad. It's just, I don't know what it is about them. They gross me out. So, no, I would not keep them in my house. I actually won't even keep crickets in the house. If I buy crickets for them, I buy the crickets, I immediately bring them home and put them in the teas tanks. I do keep mealworms, and a tip too, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but if you keep them in the fridge, it stops them from turning into a larva and then into a beetle for the most part. So I do keep my container of mealworms in the fridge. And right now, for the most part, mealworms is the main thing that my teas get, because especially for the little guys, it's hard to find pinhead crickets, whereas it's very easy to find small mealworms. Another thing is I buy my mealworms and crickets from the store. I would not ever recommend going and just finding them from outside, as much as that might seem easier. You don't know what they've been into. There's pesticides and stuff. It could make your spiders sick. And to me, it's just not worth it. Another question that I get, which I just had on the top of my head, and now I forgot it, and I was thinking about it the whole time I was talking. Jeez, it just slipped my mind completely. Well, darn. And my German Shepherd is dreaming. His eyes are twitching. It's kind of creepy, not gonna lie. Sorry, a little bit sidetracked there. It's really cute. And Rory, one of our cats, is getting kind of interested. Another question I've gotten is, where have I gotten my spiders from? Most of them have come from Tarantula Canada, which I've obviously done quite a few reviews for. And I got my curly hair from Arachnophiliacs, who he's in Toronto, and Tarantula Canada is in Montreal. No, I did not actually go to Montreal. I shipped with them. And for Arachnophiliacs, I actually did go to his place, which was really, really cool, because that was the first time that I got to see tons and tons of spiders up close and personal, which was really, really cool. And I did kind of make a little bit of a video, but it's really old, and I don't know how well it is now, because, like I said, it was made quite a while ago. But it was really, really cool. He had over 5,000 different spiders, so I got to see OBTs, lots of different pokies, P. metallica babies, all different sorts of brackies, just all sorts of different guys. I could sit here and list like hundreds of them off. It was really, really cool experience, and it made me very excited and to get more and more, especially seeing some of them up close and personal, because pictures and videos don't always do them justice. You see them up close and personal, and it just blows your mind. So, another question I get is, do I handle my teas? I have handled my curly hair once, which we made a video of. I don't really like handling them that much. I kind of like the idea of kind of leaving them alone for the most part, and only doing things with them when I absolutely have to, like feeding and misting and things like that. I like the idea of leaving them alone. I don't really like to stress them out or pester them too much, which brings me to another question, and this one's a little bit controversial, I think. Do I intentionally aggravate my spiders into threats and things like that? No, I do not. Have I seen a couple threats? I've seen some little ones, yes, mostly from slings. Actually, my pumpkin patch sling got mad at me the one day I fed him, and I was trying to take some pictures, and I guess he was just not having that and went into a threat. My steely blue leg has lunged at me and threatened me. Thankfully, the lid was on, full-on threat with a mealworm in his mouth, and I was moving his container from the bathroom back into the closet. So I've seen a threat that way, but I've never purposefully, poked at them or whatever to get a threat. I don't condone that in any way. I don't think it's right to do that. I don't want my spiders to be stressed out in any way, shape, or form, so I try, as I just said, to keep the contact to a minimum. Do I have a few that don't mind being handled? Yes. My G. pulchra is always trying to come out for visits, never showed any sign of aggression. I mean, we've even pet him before. He or she, I'm not sure, is very, very friendly. Same with my curly hair, very friendly guy. But again, too, they're very happy being on their own, especially Dante, my curly hair. He stays in his burrow most of the time, so we just kind of enjoy it when he actually does come out and about. And really, that's about it. I like, if I could have any form of trust with them, which some people say you can, some people say you can't. I really think that if I was going to have any sort of trust with them, the way I do things with them would probably be the best, because they can basically live out their lives the way they want and do what they want. And I just kind of, hello, when I give them food and everything. And of course I check on them in the morning and once at night. But again, too, I'm just looking just to see if there's any molts or anything I have to clean out, and that's about it. So that's really a lot of the top questions I get. Oh, and the one that really makes me laugh is, am I crazy? Sure, I'm crazy. I'm anything. I don't think anybody can be classified as crazy for owning a pet. I think if you have the proper experience and knowledge, you can. Now, don't take that out of context. I'm not saying to go out there and get an anaconda or anything like that, but if that's what your passion is, and you do the proper research and you give the animal proper respect, and you can give the proper care for it, I don't see what the problem is. I don't really necessarily think that makes the person crazy. I can use even, a lot of people have a phobia of snakes just as much as they do with spiders, but people who keep snakes, they're not crazy for doing so. It's something that we love, it's something that we respect, and it's something that we enjoy. And I think, again, too, there are tons of people out there who have over 100 spiders and they've never taken a bite. And, again, I think it's inevitable. If you're getting them, you kind of have to think that it could happen. But I think that if you treat them right and you're careful, the likelihood of it happening is probably pretty low. And one saying that I have is use tongs, not hands. Always remember, no matter who, even with my curly hair and my G. pulchra and everybody else, my green bottle blue, I never ever put my hands in the tank, no matter where they are in the tank. It doesn't matter. I always use the tongs to move anything around, to do anything. You never know, they could turn around in a flash. Some of them are extremely fast. And, especially with my green bottle blue is a perfect example. He's never showed me any sense of aggression. But he has bit the tongs a couple times. He's a very avid eater, and a lot of times will mistake anything, any sort of movement for food. So, because, 9 times out of 10, any movement does include food. So, you have to be kind of careful when it comes to that, because you might end up getting bit, and not out of aggression or them being mean. But if they think it's food and they're really hungry, you could take a bite. Which, I'm sorry, would be more so your fault than the animal's fault. So, definitely always use tongs, no matter what. Changing water dishes, doesn't matter. Always use tongs, especially for old worlds. But I can be honest with you, there's 3 different old worlds in the house, and most of my new worlds are a lot more crazier than the old worlds, so I kind of treat some of them like they would be an old world, just with urcating hairs and less potent venom. But, like my pink zebra beauty, for instance, and everybody will argue with me about this, my pink zebra beauty is nasty. She is so mean. She has been from almost day one. I love her to bits, don't get me wrong. But that is one other thing I should mention before I wrap this video up, is that just because you read online that they say this, like a certain species is very common docile, like if you look up Eupalastrus campistratus, pink zebra beauty, every site says you can like flip them over and rub their fangs and they're the most calmest, most docile things on the planet. Not so much. Every specimen varies. I'm not saying that there aren't calm ones out there, because there are, like just because mine's mean doesn't mean everybody else's is. But it does vary. You are going to have a few that aren't so nice and that don't like to be handled. And Zira, my Eupalastrus campistratus, is the perfect example of that. She hates being touched. She tenses up. Anytime I've had to move her, rehouse her, anything like that, she tenses up. She can get very aggressive at times. She's actually one of the ones that's come close to biting me a few times. again, she's a New World, so it wouldn't be that bad. Doesn't really care. She'll just more outbite. And that's the thing is, too, she doesn't even give a threat. She will just try to bite. She has actually bit one other person. It was his own fault. After I specifically said, don't put your hands in the tank, he decided to be a know-it-all and did anyway, and learned his lesson the hard way. He was fine. But again, too, it just goes to show, you know, like, you have to give these animals the respect, just like you have to respect your cat, or, you know, if you pester your cat all the time, there's a chance he could scratch you, and if he doesn't have his claws, he could bite you. Same with the dogs. You bug a dog too much, there's a chance he could nip you. You know, with any animal, it doesn't matter what it is, there are chances of them defending themselves. Just like with you, like a person, you know, they feel really threatened or very scared, they're more likely to defend themselves. It's the same basic logic, and you just kind of have to respect that and know that they're not necessarily out to get you. I'm a firm believer in that, especially, you know, a couple of years ago if you had asked me that, I would have said yes, they're out to get me, they'd probably eat my face. But again, too, being afraid, you don't really understand until you give them a chance. You give them a chance, you realize that they're not some evil, sadistic creature out to ruin your life. They're just looking for some bugs to eat and a place to stay safe. That really is kind of like the gist of it. So I guess this will wrap it up because this video is getting pretty long, and those are some of the most common questions I get all the time, and I just thought I would kind of make a questions and answers video. So if anybody has anything else they'd love to ask me, feel free to leave it in a comment below, and I'll definitely, if I get enough questions, I will make a video and just kind of answer them all. So thank you very, very much for watching, and we will talk to you all really, really soon. Bye.